Is there anyone else wondering why the Biden campaign would approve rolling out the most destructive tax policy that's ever been proposed in the United States right in the heart of the presidential campaign? Well, I know why, and we're going to talk about it. A little more than a week ago, I found that the Biden campaign had a tax agenda coming in 2025 that was buried deep inside the 2025 budget, and it hadn't yet seen the light of day. And when I found it, I said this. And then the second thing I would do if I was going to be a dictator in this country is I would implement a taxation policy that takes $5 trillion out of your wallet. And Joe Biden's trickle-down taxation policy plans to do exactly that. He's going to increase the corporate income taxes, the small business income taxes, the capital gains taxes, the dividends taxes. These are all taxes that affect you as a consumer. How? Well, corporations don't pay income taxes. You do. When you buy a product. And then within just a few days after I posted that video, the Biden campaign releases a part of, but not the entire tax proposal. They started talking about just the capital gains tax, and you're hearing a little bit from them about the unrealized capital gains tax. And of course, they're only talking about those two because they think that the Marxist argument of taxing the rich is going to work this time around. But what they're not telling you is the most important thing that we need to pay attention to coming into this next election cycle, because it is absolutely devastating to our economy. See, the Biden administration has been lying to the American people from day one. When they stepped into the White House, inflation was under control. We knew that. But very quickly, it started to get out of control. And mostly because of his spending policy, sending money all over the world without doing anything to help the American people. You see, what causes inflation, which is really just the rapid increase of prices, is when you have too many dollars in the economy chasing too few product. And there's only a couple ways that you can slow inflation down when it starts to get out of control. One of them is what we call a supply side economics, which is where you grow the economy to produce more so that the supply meets with the demand, and then the price system is able to stabilize prices. But you see, the leftists don't believe in supply side economics. They believe rather in a theory called the Keynesian theory, which focuses more on using government spending in the economy to stem the tide of inflation. The problem is the government is not spending money in our economy. Instead, they're printing billions and billions and billions of dollars, and they're sending it overseas. Not here. It's going to Ukraine and to other countries like that. So there's been no focus at all on the supply side, the production side, giving companies the ability to produce more so that our economy grows out of inflation. So we're left with really only two mechanisms to pull money out of the economy to slow it down. The first one is raising interest rates, and they've done that, and they know they can't raise them anymore because it's absolutely destroyed the lending and the investing apparatuses in this country, which allows the economy to stay afoot. And there's only one mechanism left, and they don't want to tell you this, but the only way that we can avoid a cycle of hyperinflation at this point is to pull as much money out of the economy as they can through taxes. So because the Federal Reserve has totally mismanaged this inflation crisis, and Joe Biden is beholden to foreign powers, he's sending tens of billions of our dollars across the globe, the only thing they have left to try to save our economy from utter collapse, from hyperinflation, is to tax your way out of it. And we already know what the implications of that is going to be because the studies have been done. We will quickly see GDP production fall by more than 2.5%. We will see household incomes fall by another 2.5 to 3%. And we'll see almost 1 million jobs vanish out of the economy. And if you're an average income household in the United States with 2 kids, married, you can expect to see your tax burden over the next 10 years go up over $40,000. So you want to know why they're proposing this tax policy now? It's because they don't have a choice. They won't tell you why, but the Federal Reserve and the federal government are terrified that we're getting ready to enter into a hyperinflation environment. And when we get there, the only solutions that are available are not good. And they mean utter disaster for our economy.